was the previous chair of the Social Mobility Commission, and he resigned, quote, because the government were unable to devote the necessary energy and focus on the social mobility agenda. And the government then committed to increasing ministerial engagement with the SMC. So why have you only met up with the chair, the current chair of the Commission, once since she took up her post?
Well, first of all, I mean, I regret that Alan resigned. I'm a big fan of Alan Milburn's, and I was sorry he felt it necessary to take that step. He's been a great champion for social mobility. But I think Martina, and we should just always say at this point, no relation, Martina Milburn is very well suited to the role because of her background, partly because of her background with the Prince's Trust, but also because of her inherent qualities. I've spoken to her actually more often than that, but
she did say to us that you'd spoken on the phone several times,
yes,
but you've actually had one full meeting
yes.
with her.
So all that is factually correct. But our directly responsible minister is one of my ministerial team, and I think they meet quarterly. And of course, I am regularly engaged in matters around social mobility. I don't think you'll ever find me lacking in energy or interest on social mobility.
But
and of course, through officials, the contact with the Commission is extremely regular.
But we're talking about the Commission holding the government to account, which
yes,
I challenged today
yes,
Martina about, and
yeah,
I challenged her about not commenting on the UN report on poverty from Professor Alston, and that the Commission had made no comment publicly about that report. Could I ask you...
But the professor did. I mean, so the body doing the report did the report.
But we're talking
That's
about
normal.
the Commission publicly responding to that report. And I'd like to ask you now, do you agree with the findings of that report? Professor Alston's
can you be a bit more specific?
The UN report on poverty.
Which particular finding?
Well, the fact that we are more unequal society.
No. Income inequality has been narrowing.
We're more divided. We're more unhappy. You don't agree with that?
No, as a matter of fact, income inequality has been narrowing. Of course, there are inequalities in our society. There are injustices in our society, and that's what I'm in business for. It's what you're in business for as well in politics. We want to change them. We want to widen. Opportunity. We want to spread opportunity further in our society.
My constituency, that referrals to the food bank have gone up 50% in the last year. And the Uniform Exchange charity, it's spiking the number of referrals, which is over 50% more in the past year. You deny that that's happening? You're saying that...
Of course I don't deny, Thelma. If you tell me...
If you're denying
that's happening...
Alston's report that we are more...
With respect, that's a colossal non sequitur. Anything I would comment on the professor's report and me saying that what you've just said is untrue are not, they're not the same question at all.
So you don't accept the UN report?
Well, no, I've invited you, Thelma, to, when you say the UN report,
I'm talking about
I've
an
invited
unequal
you.
Society. I've pointed out we're more unequal than we were 10 years ago.
And I've said that income inequality has been narrowing, but there's more that we can do. We need to spread opportunity. We need to focus on social mobility. We need to make sure that wherever you are born shouldn't determine where you end up. We should make sure that none of the professions are closed off to children from modest backgrounds. We need to make sure that in all parts of the country the educational opportunities are there for all our children. Of course we need to do all of those things, and as I say, that is what I am in this business for, and I think it's what you're in it for as well.
And will you be meeting more frequently with the chair of the Commission?
I can't predict at this moment exactly how often I'm going to meet Martina. I always enjoy meeting. I used to meet Martina Milburn before she was chair of the Social Mobility Commission.
I would suggest that she would show commitment to social justice.
With respect, Thelma, I don't actually think that is much of a sequitur either.
Okay.
I have absolute respect for, interest in and commitment to social justice.